Here's the story of the San Antonio cop that shit in a sandwich and served it to a homeless man. This one's actually concerning, so buckle up. So back in 2011, Matthew Luckhurst began his career serving and protecting and was sworn into the San Antonio Police Department. He was a 5-year veteran assigned to a downtown bike patrol. Apparently, on an undisclosed day in 2016, for some reason that I can't explain, Officer Luckhurst thought it would be a good idea to find some dog poop, put it into a sandwich, and then give it to a homeless person. You know, to protect and to serve. Anyways, Officer Luckhurst confided in one of his colleagues at the police station and was swiftly reported for his vile actions. Luckhurst was indefinitely suspended in October of 2016. 2 years later, he went to an arbiter. He said that his actions were misconstrued, and he never meant to harm or humiliate the man. He was giving the homeless man the shit sandwich, not to eat, but to throw away. On the day of the incident, he said that his superiors had directed the officers in the downtown bike patrol unit to clear out an encampment of homeless people in Interstate 35 and Houston Street. When Luckhurst and 2 other officers arrived, most people staying there began to walk away. 1 remained. Luckhurst said there was a lot of trash in the area, left from meals that were provided from volunteers. There was also feces on the ground. Officer Luckhurst testified that he picked up the feces with a piece of discarded bread, as he didn't have plastic gloves, and placed it on a styrofoam tray. He then placed the styrofoam tray next to the homeless man and told him to throw it away. When questioned about city lawyers, Luckhurst said it would be inappropriate for an officer to provide a feces sandwich to a homeless person. The proceedings continued, with Police Chief William McManus testifying that he didn't believe Luckhurst was simply asking the person to throw away the tray. "It's inhumane," he said. "It's certainly not conduct you would expect from a police officer." And on a technicality, he was reinstated in 2019 after the arbiter ruled the department had failed to discipline him within 180 days of the incident under the local government code. So, back in uniform, you would assume that he would have learned his lesson or maybe would just lay low for a while, but no. About a month later, he shit in the women's bathroom at the police station and didn't flush, then smeared a brown substance, which was described as tapioca, all over the rim of the toilet seat. He did this after a female officer told him to keep the bathrooms clean. At a second hearing for this incident, he told the arbiter that he used the women's bathroom because the men's room smelled stinky. And when going into the women's bathroom, he noticed pictures of Ryan Gosling and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson hanging on the walls and thought that the women on the force were making fun of him and his male colleagues, stating that they didn't think that the male officers were as muscular or as attractive as the actors. So he stuck it to the lady cops by shitting in their bathroom without flushing.
When you went into the restroom, did you have this substance with you that you smeared onto the toilet seat? Did you already have that ready to go?
No, sir.
So you went in empty-handed, so to speak?
Yes, sir.
And you went in and defecated in the women's restroom, correct?
Yes, sir.
How long did that take?
I don't know, a minute.
Did you use toilet paper to clean yourself after doing that?
Yes, sir.
And where did you deposit that toilet paper?
Trash can?
Not in the toilet itself?
No, I entered the women's restroom and noticed a whiteboard on a wall with a handwriting on it, a handwritten message, and there was 2 posters in the locker room. I noticed the handwriting to be Tisha Justice. It said something along the lines of "No boys allowed." I saw the posters on the wall of like The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and I believe the other was Ryan Gosling, who's an actor. And I saw those as kind of taking jokes and poking at us that we're not as muscular or good looking, just little barbs between us, brother, sister. I just thought it'd be a funny prank to play on Tisha.
He reported that the substance smeared on the seat was boba balls from boba, that he suspects melted over time. Police Chief William McManus was called as a witness and said he doesn't think that Luckhurst deserves to be on the police department. The chief testified that he stands behind his decision of firing Luckhurst for playing a prank involving excrement, calling the behavior vile and disgusting. Attorney Cifuentes, who represents Luckhurst, questioned the chief about other bike patrol statements that suggest that what happened was widely recognized in the department as just a joke. The lawyer also brought up other incidents of harassment where he said that the discipline was not termination. One example was a 2016 incident that involves an officer that inappropriately touched a 21-year-old police explorer on a ride-along. The officer was given only a 10-day suspension. Despite his best efforts, in 2020, Luckhurst would be let go from the San Antonio Police Department and not be allowed to return. Any semblance of plausible deniability that he may have had after the shit sandwich incident was completely eradicated after the tapioca incident. I mean, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me 2 times? Can't get fooled again. The man 100% tried to feed the homeless man a shit sandwich. At this point, you might be thinking he was just young and immature. He was 32 years old at the time of the incident. Today, he is well into his 40s. And in either case, you're probably also thinking, man, I'm glad he's not a cop anymore. Well, unfortunately, he still is. Only 5 months after being let go from SAPD, he found another job as a cop less than 30 miles away in the neighboring city of Floresville, Texas. He kept this job for nearly 2 years, and in 2022, he was terminated after the mail of Floresville was flooded with hundreds of emails, messages, and letters warning her about his misconduct in San Antonio, where he was quickly let go once again. Unfortunately, the Floresville Police Department was not fully aware of the entire situation involving the alleged incident. The Floresville Police Department said in a public statement that as far as they knew, Luckhurst had been discharged from his former employer by the equivalent of an honorable discharge. Man, I'm sure glad that he's not a cop anymore. Oh wait, he totally is! After being fired from the Floresville Police Department, he got yet another job in Benavides, Texas as, you guessed it, a police officer. He is one of 2 officers that make up this police force. Benavides Police Chief Andre Hines said he's aware of Luckhurst's past disciplinary history, but he meets the Texas Commission of Law Enforcement Employment Standards, which, how? Police Chief Hines would go on to comment on how he believes in giving people second chances. According to my calculations, he's on his 4th chance. But who's counting? Luckhurst has worked for the department since April 2023. Hines said that Luckhurst has performed well during his employment there. This just goes to show the level of incompetence and lack of thorough research that goes into hiring for these positions of power. I mean, I would understand giving the man a second chance cleaning bathrooms. That would actually be great poetic justice. But nope, he wears a badge and carries a gun, and maybe, just maybe, if you're lucky enough, while traveling in Benavides, Texas, Officer Luckhurst might protect and serve you a shit sandwich. This has been Salty Goose Productions, and I'll see you in the next one.